All right, cool. Thank you. All right, bye. All right, sorry everybody online. I don't know what's going on with this computer. All right, so we're gonna do some practice tests, and I told the class here, I reached out to the founder of FRSecure, which is one of the better test sites out there. It's a subscription site. And he gave us a free account to do a demo test with you guys tonight. So that is, you'll get to see, this is what that site is one of the big ones that I used. The other thing I want to mention is, I'm going to bring this up, maybe. Make sure that this is available to you guys as well. Possibly. I was thinking about it. Here we go. It is this sunflower study guide. What you see is that this computer is not happy with me. It's been one of those days. This was a great study guide that I used. It was based on the original 10, and now they've revised it for the 8 domains. But if it works,
we've all been there.
There we go. Hey. So the worst part is as far as Evan knows, this is going to go great, and I'm going to destroy the recording. All right. So this is a really good one. It's printable. It's got all the different like highlights and definitions, and it's just a really good for each of the different domains. So we'll make sure that either we get this version up or get a link to it on the site, or I'll have Rob email that out so you guys can use this, print it out, make flashcards, use it for flashcards. It's a really good resource. The guy did a fantastic job kind of giving, you can see, I mean, it's pretty, there we go, pretty in-depth and detailed on what you need. So it's a really good resource as well. So we'll make sure that that's available for you as well. All right, so let's do a quiz. Quiz and select new quiz. Oh, okay. New quiz. This is a new site. This is their new, it's a demo of their new interface. So, and you could do a test mode where they're not going to give you the answers, or study mode will do study, so it tells us right away. You can focus on one or more domains. We're going to do all of them. You have difficulty levels. I think it always use the pro. That's what I always did. We'll just start with 50. Oh, all right. And then what I liked about this, again, they just gave us a free sample of it, but you can focus, once you start going through it and do some tests, you can focus on only those that you got wrong. So you're not getting the same questions that you got right. Like, you can actually focus on what you've done wrong. All right.
How much is a subscription?
It's like,
What is it?
yeah, absolutely worth it in my opinion. If you, again, that's what I used. It keeps your statistics, report cards. It'll tell you how you're doing in each domain. I think it is really useful. There's other ones out there. There's skillset.com has free questions. Some of those are better than others. Go Certify has free questions. But figure, you know,
similarity to the actual test.
This was the closest that I found. The others are really good as just additional reference. Like, maybe go through the skill set, go through Go Certify, some of these the free resources, And once you start getting confident with that level of question, go ahead and pay the subscription at that point. No, the other ones don't have, like, this is going to be we have to drag and drop, and some of these other scenario questions, they won't have those that this has. So yeah, all right, we'll get started. Help Clement put the OSI layers in the proper order. Start with layer 1 at the bottom and layer 7 at the top. Okay. I can't see. There it goes. Okay, physical. Oh, there you go. What was it? Please, what? Yep. All right.
Applications on top.
And then you can do the mark for later review, which is also on the test. Correct. Right. So, and then you can see the question, or this is the study guide, right? So you're going to get a huge study.
So is that only on the new site, or is this?
No, this would be, they have the same setup. It's just a new interface. It's a new layout. This looks exactly the same as what, like, the questions and how it did it. And then if you don't do the study guide, the study mode, you don't get that show answer. It just grades you at the end. So it's up to you how you want to do that. All right, so the 3 classic ways of authenticating yourself to computer security software are something you know, something you have, and something you are. Correct answer is you are. All right. Which of the following protocol suite does the internet use? All right. Yes. Look at that. You guys are going to crush it, right? In discretionary access environments, which of the following entities is authorized to grant information access to other people? Yeah. Good owner. Look at that. What is the length of an MD5 message digest? Oh. All right. 128 bits. Look at, you guys are going to go take this tomorrow, right? Which of the following protects a password from eavesdropping and supports the encryption of communication? HDMI port is. There we go. Chat. Yes. Answer. Chap. So that's 6 for 6. Which of the following is a disadvantage of a statistical anomaly-based intrusion detection system? What do you guys read and think about that? I'm going to turn this around a little bit better so I can see it better. Yeah. See? So yeah, well, all right. So I guess we'll do what Evan does and say it may correctly detect a non-attack event that caused a momentary anomaly. Well, why would it correctly detect a non-attack? That's what you would want it to do. Truly detect a non-attack event. Well, that's the same thing as the first one, right? It truly detected it. Well, good for it. May falsely detect a non-attack event that has caused a momentary anomaly. Okay. May loosely detect a non-attack. Well, I don't even know what loosely detect means. So yes, I would go with C on that. It may falsely detect a non-attack. We were correct on that one. 7 for 7. All right, which of the following assertions is not true about pattern matching and anomaly detection in intrusion detection? So pattern matching IDS can only identify known attacks. That's true. Anomaly-based engine develops baselines of normal traffic activity and throughput and alerts on deviations. That's true. Anomaly detection tends to produce more data. It's true because it's got to create the baselines. Right? Stateful matching scans for attack signatures by analyzing individual packets instead of traffic streams. I think, yeah. What do you guys think? I think it's the the anomaly detection is going to create a lot more data because it's got to create those baselines and maintain it. That's why. And it's right. Right. Yep. Correct. 8 for 8. Offsite back. Man, doing too much talking today.
Good job.
I do. An offsite backup facility intended to operate as an information processing facility having no computer or communications equipment, but having flooring, electrical, power, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning is better known as a warm site. Well, that's, what do we say? Maybe a couple days. Hot site, a couple hours. Duplicate processing, well, that's real time. So it's got to be a cold site, right? It's just a facility that you would populate in the case of a disaster. Cold site. All right. Which of the following is the weakest authentication mechanism? One-time password, passphrases, token devices, or passwords? Yeah. Good job. I can't wait for us to get to some of the more difficult ones. You guys are probably going, wow, this is really, this isn't so hard. SSL uses message authentication code for what purpose? Thank you. Yep. Wow, I'm sorry? So yeah, message interleaving checking, message non-repudiation, message integrity or confidentiality. Well, it's not going to use it for the confidentiality. Authentication, I think, yeah, message non-repudiation seems the most correct. Everybody agree? Yeah, we'll see. Message integrity, why is that? Here. Cryptography is generated, it's used to generate, is a generated value used to authenticate a message. Well, there you go. That is definitely not one of my areas of strength. That would be something I would be focusing on if I had to go back and take it again, which I hope I never do. I'll just maintain my CPEs. Which of the following are not remote access concerns? Justification for remote access? No, that's definitely something you want. Auditing of activities, that would be something you would want. Access badges or regular review of access privileges. Well, yeah, see, it's the only one that's not actually remote. Oop, I forgot to, I'm so confident in that one. Yep, access. All right. Which of the following types of intrusion detection systems uses behavioral characteristics of the system's operation or network traffic to draw conclusions on whether traffic represents a risk to the network or host? So host-based ID system. No, that wouldn't be it. A network-based ID system. Yeah. Well, let's see, which of the following?
Behavioral characteristics.
It'd be, yeah, anomaly detection. Yeah. Behavioral care, yep. Because it's going to create the baseline based on the normal behavior and look for anomalies to that. So yeah, I would agree. Anomaly detection. So we only missed one. That's not bad. Which of the following is the most secure firewall implementation? Screened subnet firewall, dual home firewall, packet filtering firewalls, or screened host firewalls? So, oh man, it's not dual homed. I know that for sure. You don't want it. That's not secure if it's in 2 different subnets. Packet filtering. No, I think it is a screened subnet firewall, if I remember correctly. Anybody have any?
Who uses that term?
Screen subnet firewall. So yeah, it's going to be looking at Yeah, 2 packet filtering routers and a bastion host. So it's going to put, that's okay. Oh, it's coming back
So
to
it's
me.
more of an architecture versus
It's-
a product.
Right. Yeah. Right. So yeah, you're going to put a packet filtering router on each side, and then the host in the middle where it's going to be secure. Right. So you got to go through a firewall either way. All right. Which of the following statements pertain to VPN protocol standards? Pertaining to VPN protocol standards is false. L2TP is a combination of PPTP and L2F. Remember L2F. What's L2F? Thank you. All right, PPTP uses native PPP authentication encryption. L2TP and PPTP were designed for single point-to-point client-to-server communication, and L2TP operates at the network layer.
Say that again, because layer
Yeah.
2 would be.
Yeah, because right, so layer 2. Let's see. Let's see. Operates at the network layer. Phew. All right.
What is L2F?
Let's see. Yeah, layer 2 forwarding. So, meet you. There we go. All right. Which cloud deployment model is best described as an infrastructure shared by organizations that have similar mission, security requirements, concerns, and compliance considerations? Hybrid, community, private, or public? Well, we know it's not private or public. So it's either going to be community or hybrid, right? Well, it could be public, yeah.
Shared is public, isn't it?
Well, I see the way, so the way I'm reading that is it's shared by
Multiple organizations.
that have similar mission, security requirements, concerns, and compliance. So the public cloud wouldn't match all that. It's not a private, it's either a hybrid or a community. I think it's hybrid.
Hybrid is private.
Private and, yeah. So community? All right. It's, there you go, look at that. Hybrid. Oh. Let's see. All right, which of the following can prevent hijacking of a web session? PPT, SET, RSA, or SSL? SSL. Yep. We're going to cruise through a bunch of questions today. This is great. When a station communicates to the network, on the network for the first time, which of the following protocols could be used to search and find the IP address that matches a known Ethernet address? Reverse ARP, UDP, user datagram protocol, well, ICMP, or ARP? Well, it's not UDP or ICMP. So, right, so we're going to say IP to Ethernet address. It's A. It's reverse. It's not the Ethernet address to an IP. ARP is looking for is looking backwards. That would be the Ethernet address. I always get these backwards. All right. ARP. All right, we'll do ARP. Oh, it's reverse. So you will. So obviously you'll need to know the difference, right? If you don't do networking on a regular basis, it's not. Yeah, this is not something that I don't do a lot of networking stuff. So this is not an area that I know off the top of my head inside and out, like some of the other stuff. So there we go. All right. This is a common security issue that is extremely hard to control in large environments. It occurs when a user has more rights, permissions, and access than what is required. What is the best describes the scenario? Excessive right? That's probably accurate. Excessive permissions? All right. Excessive privileges or excessive access. Wow. So really it'd be the same, right? All those are correct. This is a good example of one, right? Where you could argue all those are correct, so you have to pick the most correct answer. Yep, I would go with privileges because it does include rights, permissions, and access. Privileges, there you go, they're very close, which would include the other three choices. So that's what we're talking about with the, you have to pick the most correct, right? You have to know which one is the most correct. Yeah. Oh, critical areas should be lighted 8 feet high and 4 feet out, 8 feet high, 2 feet, 10 feet, 6 feet out, or 10 feet and 4 feet out. So this is a memorization, and it is under, it's in physical security. It's, no, I think it's A. I know it's 8 feet. Is it 2 feet? I thought it, okay. I'll go with 2 feet. I'm willing to.
The radius?
Yeah, so
2 feet's not very far.
Yeah, 2 feet's pretty narrow.
yeah.
Especially when you're talking 8 feet high.
Oh, it is 8 feet and 2 feet.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
And here you go. Here's the other thing. It's got the actual CDK, some page locations, stuff like that. So that, and I do remember that that kind of question. So it's just flat memorization. It's in the book.
Why wouldn't it be more or wider?
Yeah, that. I'll be honest. I don't remember why.
Yeah, right. Okay. How many watts are we talking
So you have to know like lumens and stuff, and right, that's what we're talking about with like, what is it, the nits and lumens and yeah, the candle. So you need to know that stuff. They will take your candle and put it in a locked closet, and you can't have it. So we'll talk about that as well a little bit more, like kind of what preparing for the test as well, as we get toward, keep going through this. Who of the following is responsible for ensuring that proper controls are in place to address integrity, confidentiality, and availability of IT systems and data? The system information owners. Now they're there to tell you what, you know, what those are. Security practitioners, probably. Business and functional managers, no. The CIO, no. I would say
responsible
for ensuring the controls are in place. So your system and information owners are going to say, hey, this is this classification of data. Here's who should have access. So who is responsible for actually implementing those controls and making sure that they're there? And I would say the security practitioners. Really? For implement. See? All right, so I read it wrong. That's what I said, is their IT is responsible for implementation of it. And I talked myself out of that, where they're responsible for ensuring that what they said needs to be done is being done. IT security is responsible for doing it. Yeah, so you got to make sure you really read these questions. And these are really good. I mean, these are really good samples of what the questions on the test are like. All right, which of the following should be used as a replacement for Telnet for secure remote login over an insecure network? STelnet, I don't even know if that's a thing. SSL, RLogin, or SSH v2? Yep, SSH v2. All right. Which of the following statements pertaining to messages, gosh, I'm ready to go home. Which of the following statements pertaining to message digest is incorrect? Message digests are of a fixed size. Those are the same. They are a fixed size. Two different files should not have the same message digest. That is correct. Original file cannot be created from the message digest. Oh, good, good. I'm stumbling all over myself tonight.
Can't read.
And then the message digest should be calculated using at least 128 bit of the file. which is incorrect. I think it's C. Let's see. Encryption is
How's it going?
not so good. You showed up and got them all wrong.
You're pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Which of the following best defines a computer security incident response team? Organization that disseminates incident-related information to its constituency and other involved parties. No, that's not what you would be doing. Organization that ensures security incidents are reported to the authorities. I mean, that might be part of there, but that's not what they should be doing. That's computer security. Organization coordinates and supports the response to security incidents. I say that one definitely looks right. And an organization that provides a secure channel for receiving reports of suspected security incidents. I'm gonna go with C. I think C makes the most sense. Yeah, coordinates and responds. So we're correct. All right, which of the following protocols directly supported within the browser makes using untrusted wireless safer? DHCP, no, that's right. That's how you get an IP address. SSH, if you're browsing using SSH, then okay. HTTPS or SSL? Yeah. SSL would be how it's secured. Nope. Did I get that backwards? Oh, yeah. All right. So read the question. That's twice we've done that.
What are we doing so far? 26.
Got like 20 right. It's like
Passing.
5 or 6, right? Yeah, that's the other thing. It doesn't really matter what your score is. Just pass. They actually don't even tell you your score. So, well,
Fail.
unless you fail. Yeah, it's true. If you pass, you don't know how you.
Is it careful, man? Yeah, you failed.
Yeah, if you fail, they'll tell you how. Like they'll taunt you with how close you were. But if you pass, you don't know how. If you pass by 1 point or 100 points.
Only one person failed.
All right. Well, using IPsec, the encapsulating security payload and authentication header protocols both provide integrity services. However, when using AH, some special attention needs to be paid if one of the peers uses NAT for address translation service. Wow. Which of the items below would affect the use of AH and integrity check value the most? Good Lord, I have no idea. All right. Key session exchange, cryptographic algorithm.
Well, if you're going using that, it's going to be D.
Yeah, I would say it's going to be your destination or the packet header source because it's, yep. Nah, because the rest, that network address, yeah, I agree. Let's see. There you go.
Yes.
Excuse that word, you guys.
Yeah. In a session hijack scenario, why is it dangerous that an attacker could respond to client queries before the legitimate domain device or server answered the client query? Attacker could pretend to be the legitimate service. Yeah, that's true. Could cause TCP reset packets to be sent. Okay. Secret cookies could be intercepted. No. Is it? You want to zoom?
No, it's just me. Didn't play.
There we go. There we go. I'm gonna make it bigger. ARP cache timeouts could occur. I think it's going to be A, right? That's that time of, was it the yeah, time-based attack? Service, device or service. They could pretend to be, they would be doing a time-based attack. They're trying to do, right. There you go. Man, I'm having like PTSD flashbacks to this stuff. This is like, I never want to do this again. No. What is the most common problem with web applications which cause SQL inject attacks to be successful. Not running an IDS on database networks, no. Too many writes for critical services, well, that could definitely be a problem, but not for SQL injection. Not suppressing verbose database error messages, well, that's correct as well, but poorly controlled user input validation. I would say it's D.
Yeah.
Poorly controlled user input. Why is it so easy to spoof MAC addresses on wireless and copper LAN networks? MACs are sitting in the clear, they're not copyrighted. Layer 2 are on MAC addresses are authenticated, and you can't encrypt a MAC address. And no, they're unauthenticated. You're just throwing a name out or a MAC address out there. There's no way to authenticate. They're not saying who it is or any way of verifying who it is. They're just saying, yep, okay, you got the right MAC address. There you go. Oh man, layer 2 of the OSI model has 2 sublayers. What are those sublayers, and what are 2 IEEE standards that describe technology to that layer? You guys remember this? I know I haven't talked about it. Come on. MAC and then 802.2. All right. Hey, look at that, they listened. Or we got lucky on the guess. Either way, we got it right. All right, FTP uses which combination of transport protocol and TCP port numbers to move files from system to system? UDP 2021, TCP 2021, TCP 69, or TCP 21? What does FTP use? All right.
B stands for board. Choose from candidates.
A.
Apple.
There you go.
Out.
Suppose you are a network IT manager for a medium-sized business and as part of an upgrade process, you wish to replace the timesheet management suite employees use to log their hours. You want to be sure there are 0 problems with this rollout by training users, validating the timesheet server software, and monitoring the deployment to react to any unforeseen problems. What is this process called? Business need assessment? No, that would be before you actually bought anything. Process change? No. Process management? Oh, change management. Change management.
B's for dog.
All right. Change management. Whew. All right. The equation used to calculate the total number of symmetric. Oh my gosh. Oh, I know this one, I think. So encryption is definitely not one I use on a regular basis. Equation used to calculate the total number of symmetric keys, K, needed for a group of users to communicate securely with each other is given by which of the following? I can't read it for that angle. N times K minus 1 divided by 2, N times N minus 1 divided by 2, K times N minus 1 divided by 2, K. All right, so it is number of symmetric, so it's the number of users times symmetric keys minus 1. I think it's A. It's either A or C. All right, K, it's not plus 1. So we know D is out because it's not plus 1 because you only need your minus yourself. And B is definitely out because it's there. You don't mention, there's no mention of the number of symmetric keys. So it's either A or C. Number of users times, no, I think it's C. Any guesses? All right, let's see. Evan's gonna mock me if I'm wrong. Oh, what? Oh, because that equals K. It's been way too long since I've done this stuff. I talked myself out of it, see? So this is a lot of yeah. I haven't, yeah. You're saying the number of users times the number of users minus yourself divided by 2 equals K. Okay. That's what I said. All right. All right, when a vendor releases patches or updates for software that you use in the organization, when is it best to install these updates and patches for appropriate testing? Yeah, I'd say that's good. Permit users to install the patches or not? No, that's not, right? Immediately avoid being attacked. You could, but that doesn't always, yeah. So we know from other patching, it doesn't always work or breaks other things. After more important tasks are completed, now I'd say it's after appropriate testing. Yep. Which answer is best defined by a policy or set of policies which the employee must acknowledge and sign that, yes.
She didn't read the question though.
Well, you don't even. Oh, you
Yeah.
must acknowledge.
Yeah. All right, suppose you're an IT manager at a successful organization, discover that an employee has been stealing sensitive corporate secrets and has been fired by the senior executive. What access control category would this fall under? Recovery access control, deterrent access control, corrective access control, or compensating access control? Which one, corrective? All right, good job. The act of issuing certificates to end users, systems, or applications is known as issuance to non-persona identities, entities, enterprise activities, user systems, or applications. I guess issuing a certificate to end user systems, issuance to, well, it's not non-persona. Can you see? I think it's, gosh, yeah, B or D. I think I would go with B. Those are all entities.
What does non-persona mean? Is that not a person?
Yeah, that's what.
Or application?
That's what I would say. Is that that's how I would read that. It's not a person, but we say it's saying end users. And
It's repeating.
yeah, I think it. I could be right, but we'll see what happens. Issuance to entities. All right, which of the following is not an example of a DOS, denial of service attack? Ping flood, eavesdropping, Smurf attack, or teardrop attack? Oh, yeah, Smurf. We didn't cover Smurf attacks or Fraggle attacks.
Yeah, we did.
Did we? I wasn't there for that class.
Surface, oh, yeah. Surface reflection attack.
Yeah.
Which,
Does that even actually happen anymore?
no.
I didn't think so.
Blocks, broadcast.
And Fraggle is UDP, right?
Yeah.
All right. Not an example. Ping flood, well, that's definitely a denial of service. Eavesdropping, no, you're listening in, you're not denying anything. Smurf, we just talked about it. And the teardrop is, oh gosh.
It's offset.
Yeah, oh yeah, where it's malformed.
Yeah.
So it's eavesdropping, right? Because it's passive. We're not, it's a passive attack. We're not actively denying service.
You guys pumped up? This is like the last. Is there 3 more points from CISSP?
Yeah.
And I brought up, oh, here, so I'll bring this up for, well, where the heck did it go?
Oh, you're talking about the sunflower?
Yeah. I don't even know where it is on this computer now. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so I brought it up on I brought the sunflower up, so we'll get a link for them to see that as well. I'll get that. Which of the following is not a disadvantage of single sign-on? Costs associated with it. Gosh. Yeah. Support for all major operating systems and environments is difficult. Well, it's definitely a disadvantage. Cost could be significant. SSO improves an administrator's ability to manage user account and authorization on all. It seems like that's an advantage rather than a disadvantage. Or it could be a single point of failure. Oh, see, that's a, I would consider that to be a big advantage. There you go. All right. Which of the following cryptography is based on practical application of these characteristics of the smallest grains of light? The photon. Wow. Physical laws governing their generation and propagation and detection. Well, it's quantum. It's quantum.
No, it really
It is.
When you said that, I sound very.
Quantum is based on photons. There you go. So a lot of this, it's the photon is, that's what it's based off of. So yeah, so much of this is just memorization of the stuff. All right, you're a manager for a large international bank and periodically move employees between positions in your department. What is this process called? Mandatory rotations? No. Separation of duties? No. Job rotation? That sounds more like it. Or dual control? That would be where you have two people doing it. It's job rotation. Yeah. It's actually harder to do this than I thought because I just want to answer the question right away without actually going through it. Which of the following types of testing uses a set of test cases that focus on control structure of the procedural design? System testing, final acceptance testing, testing interface testing. All right, which of the following set of test cases? That would be, no, I think it's, yeah, B or C, unit testing. System testing isn't going to use a set of test cases. Final acceptance is the final by the user, the owner. Interface is, it's unit testing. Which of the following acid properties in DBMS means that once transaction has been committed, it remains so even in a bit of a power loss, crashes, or errors? So acid is atomosity. That one, I can't say it right. Consistency, isolation, or durability. So isolation is you're isolating it from, preventing people from seeing what they shouldn't. Consistency, that sounds about right. I don't remember what that one is. C is, I'm trying to blank. And then durability, you're not going to have corruption.
Consistency is that transactions don't violate the integrity of the database.
There you go. So it's durability. So, and again, this is what I like about this site, and it actually has all that out there. So, which of the following is incorrect? Layer 2 protocol mapping used in the DoD TCP IP model. Oy. Internet layer to IP, network access to Ethernet, application layer to telnet. Well, that's it, right? No, wait, applications, yeah, transport ICMP. So I know the first one is right.
ICMP is on the network layer.
Yeah, that's not a transport. That would be like IP or TCP, or TCP, yeah. There you go, transport ICMP. I'm blaming my 2-hour car drive here and then forgetting my key and being late.
I'm going to take the test.
Which of the following is true of a private cloud? It is always managed by a broker. Okay. Okay. Must be internal to an organization. That sounds better. Must be external to an organization. That's kind of the opposite of a private cloud. Internal or external? No. I would say one is true of a private cloud. I would say it's B. Yeah. There you go.
It can be D.
Yeah. Huh.
Or external.
Oh, there you go.
I think you're thinking like who can use it.
Yeah.
Internal.
I was thinking more like that would be like a hybrid solution, but it could still be private.
Like I could have a private cloud hosted at some other location.
Like, yeah.
I think that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And I see what you're thinking too.
And it's tricky to.
Where'd you drive from?
Morgan. I drove out to Morgan and back.
It's a thing.
It's like it's exactly 100 miles from our office to where I was at today.
Morgan, you guys know where Morgan is?
Yeah. If you blink, you miss it.
Which way?
Southwest, past New Ulm. It's about 40 miles past New Ulm.
What were you doing up there?
I did a presentation and talked to a CEO. I got good news from that too.
I did a social engineering presentation today. I mean, there was no, basically the same one that you said. There was no speaker. There was
Oh, no.
microphone, so nobody could hear me. So I'm like talking. Nobody was telling me that they couldn't hear me. So I'm talking
Oh.
and I'm like, man, you guys are like dead.
You have to move closer to the mic because nobody can hear you online.
Oh, I'm like,
Speak of.
this is the word. I was like, you guys are kind of a bad crowd and stuff. And then like 3 rows back there, I was like, I don't think we can hear you.
I don't think.
Whoops. All right. 46. All right. Your senior management wishes you, as an IT manager, to document the access control types you currently implement. Apart from access control categories, there are also access control types, which corporate leadership uses to classify the controls by the manner in which they're implemented. Your CIO asks you questions about these control types. Warning fences, safeguard, traffic shaping cone, signs, and street markings are all, those are all. Yeah. So what's great about this question is you've got all of this that's pretty much not really relevant, right? I mean, there's some information in there, but really they want to ask about these control types. What are, so that's what I was thinking. So it's not preventative.
Is a guard considered physical?
It could be both, right? It could be deterrent or physical.
But the traffic shaping signs isn't a deterrent, because it's just a shaping.
So what is a traffic shaping sign?
Like a fence without a fence?
Yeah, I might even heard that.
Traffic light.
I would have asked the CIO for clarification.
I think it's-
Not necessarily deterrent, it would have to be physical. Street markings aren't deterrent either. Or are they?
Warning signs. It could all be.
They could all be, so it's,
That's true.
yeah, warning signs, fences. I think I'm gonna go with deterrent still.
Deterrent's probably best.
Yeah, the first 3, if it was just the first 3, I'd say definitely physical, but then you've got these that are trying to, deter, move people in a certain direction.
Right, so I would say the first 3 say it's deterrent, but you're saying those first 3 say it's physical.
I would read a fence and guards as physical with the signs.
I think they're all, they're all physical, because physical are things that you can touch. So I think they're all physical, but
It's meant to be deterrent.
I think so. But
Yeah.
I think all of our logics are correct. It's a crappy question.
It's physical, so why does it say that?
Oh, it's in that paragraph you highlighted. So there are types which corporate leadership use to classify the controls by the manner in which they're implemented. So they're implemented in a physical manner,
Oh, there you go.
apparently not in a deterrent manner.
Oh, so you do have to read it.
You talked yourself out of it.
I know. Let me tell you, you could attest to it. It's so easy to do. You see me do it like 3 or 4 times where you start overthinking it and
I always miss it on the regulars. So now I get transmit out of it. It always confuses me.
what is the condition called where users are allowed to enter any information of a limited amount into a web application? Checked user input? No. Validated input? No, it's not validated. Web application control parameters? No, it's unvalidated input. I had one where we had, it was a place I worked, we had a web application that had an unvalidated, it was an email, and they didn't validate the address, so they were putting in like an internal address, like spitting out spam.
Yeah, that's what you would do, right?
Yeah,
I've seen
and
it.
we're like, wait, why is this going out? And they're like, what do you mean? Nobody can do that. We're like, no, yeah, it is. Look, why are you sending this stuff out?
That's the way you do spam with 425 exposed, and that's not an open
Yep.
domain still.
Yeah, and
Input.
so
That's cool.
yeah, that was bad. Well, it wasn't bad for me. It wasn't my problem to fix, but somebody had a bad day that day. All right, company is about to go public, which means a whole new set of regulations will be applied to how you and your company maintain its internal assets. Your IT manager at corporate headquarters has directed you and your staff to plan for the legal and disaster recovery planning requirements which go along with publicly traded organizations. He wishes you to identify key regulations and processes which go with these requirements. Answer the question below to help prepare you and your company to meet these challenges. U.S. regulation that applies to healthcare information. It requires a backup data backup plan, disaster recovery plan, and emergency operation plan is best described in which of the following? Yeah, Sarbanes-Oxley is not absent.
Well, Sarbanes-Oxley reflects it's a public company, but when it's got the highlighted healthcare.
Yeah.
I think that's what tips you that hit.
Yep.
So even for the data backup and disaster recovery, isn't HIPAA with the privacy? Or does it
Privacy.
cover all of
There's
that?
three rules of HIPAA. There's the privacy, there's security rule, privacy rule, and the breach notification.
Yeah, I didn't know
So that's, I think the fact that you do healthcare in there last minute. Welcome to that one.
Yep. Oh, all right, Evans. No, in this block cipher.
I think it's Kuiper.
Block cipher method of encryption. A single bit change in the plain text results in multiple changes permutated throughout the rest of the encryption cycle. So in the end, the ciphertext is completely changed. Substitution, confusion, diffusion, or transposition. Well, it's not substitution. I think it's confusion or diffusion. It's one of the shuns. You didn't have to point it out. With the rest. No, it's diffusion because it's going to change it throughout all the cycles.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with diffusion. And this is confusion, and I'm gonna blame you guys for talking me out of it. Diffusion.
I was going to see if you're.
Would you show the answer and just show the explanation for confusion? Confusion, there it is. Process drastically changes data. Oh, input to output.
All right. All right, last one for this practice test. We'll see how we did.
Oh my gosh, so many words.
I know. I'm not going to read this one out loud. Oh, wow. All right. So
I'm still reading.
so here, this was a good one where this is all like just busy work, right? To read that. But
you're not. When you just appear.
yeah, I know.
You don't have to be it.
So
You've all been making.
where do you think I'm at right now?
Yeah. 3 times a day.
ITIL is the IT service management best practices.
So that's like the only one we didn't have to read everything.
I know. All right, let's see. So it should give us a score. We answered them all. All right. Submit for grading. Let's see how we did. All right, 42. Okay, that's
84%.
pretty good.
Yep.
All right. So let's do a new quiz here. Let's see if we can find, do study mode, all of them. We're not going to do 50 this time. We'll do a smaller number because I want to do hotspot. So we didn't get any hotspots. Oh, I can't do just, all right, we'll do hotspots. I want to hit the other kinds.
Is CISSP charging you?
Yeah, well, so if you want the full, it's like $89 for 90 days.
I remember I meant if we first started this.
So this is another kind of question. These are the hotspots. These are new in this test. So you're going to get a scenario, and then like you can see there's different areas that are selectable. So you got to read the scenario and then pick the right area for to answer the question. PKIs. All right. So again, this is another one where the first big paragraph is just explain what PKI is. The second one is the actual question that you need to know. So where would the certificate authority be located? So that looks like that person's got the keys, going to shop.
You want to be the top left?
Yeah, because this is handing out the key, and this is verifying with it that it's the key.
What's the top right then?
Well, it's handing, here it's the same thing, it's handing out certificates. And then here it's saying, you've got your key and it's okay. So it's gonna be this.
Oh, it's the stars, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so top right was a good.
CA, there you go. And it's got validation, it's got all the explanations as well for what the different ones are. Well, he just wants to look good on his vacation, clearly. All right. Well, all right, I guess that was the only one we got.
So how do we do on this test?
All right. Apparently they only have one. Yes.
100%.
Huh? All right.
We're all feeling pretty confident now. You trust 15, that's weird.
I think maybe they just didn't have 15. So let's do matching drag and drop. It had a warning that popped up that I just ignored. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. So there's,
I don't have that many.
yeah. And that makes sense because these are user submitted, so it's probably a little bit more difficult to get these. All right. Who wants to remember what the fire?
C is electrical because of your computer,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. A's kitchen.
And B was
A is
boiling, so
common
that's
combust,
oils
right?
and fat.
Cooking oils is K.
Or the flammable liquid is the boiling.
Yeah.
What was A again?
That's common combustible, right?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ash. There you go. And then kitchen, and then metals is the other one. Class A is common combustible, flammable liquid, electrical, flammable metal, and cooking oils. Got it right. Oh, quick one, go away. Oh, all right, there's only one of those too. That would explain why we didn't get those in the other one. Hey, look at that. What's our report card look like? Oh, that doesn't. Oh, hey, I'm in the public dashboard. Let's go no. All right.
Let's fill in the blank.
Let's see. Well, I didn't like that. There may not be any for that. Because keep in mind, this is not just for the CISSP. There's a bunch of other certifications that are available through there as well.
This was CCNP.
There you go.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, he's got a really good selection. I used it from my CISSP and CISM.
That was
Yeah, we better do pretty well on that one. All right, well, let's just do. Maybe look at true, false. Those are pretty. Oh, that's probably going to be one. Oh, there you go. All right. Is Bella Padula strictly concerned with integrity?
just working with Bell Fed, was it?
Really?
No.
Isn't it false? Is it something like up?
It's concerned only with confidentiality.
Bell actually read them.
Symmetric can be 100 to 1,000 times faster than asymmetric. True or false? Well, yes, it is true. There you go. And we're just crushing these tests.
Wow. Stainless system.
I'll say the majority of these are going to be on here are the multiple choice answers, but even knowing that those other ones are there, the drag and drop and the hotspots, if you can answer the multiple choice, you'll be able to answer those, right? Because you'll know the information. You just don't be surprised.
You get time for another like 50.
Yep. I'll knock out one more big one.
Can you do test mode?
Yep.
You're gonna do test mode?
Yes.
We'll screen through it. We don't get the
explanations.
Yeah, no explanations.
We're not even know what we're doing.
Not till the end.
Oh, all right. Wow, Orange Book is verified design. I can picture them and I have no idea.
ABCD, the highest that NT ever got was C2.
Okay.
A3. Verified design would be top level, I think. That's
You think it's A?
All right. I won't argue because I don't remember. That's one of those ones, as soon as I passed, it just gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which of the following is advantage of using high-level programming language? It allows programmers to define syntax, decreases execution times, requires programmer-controlled storage management, and enforces coding standards. Define syntax, right? It doesn't enforce the coding standard. Just using that language doesn't enforce a standard. At least I don't think so.
The higher you get up in the, like the generations, the closer you get to speaking the human language.
Yeah.
So you still find syntax there. You create your own dictionary.
Oh, I see.
Which of the following is true regarding TCP and UDP? Connection-oriented. TCP is connection-oriented, UDP is not. TCP does not guarantee delivery, while UDP does guarantee delivery. UDP is useful for longer messages rather than TCP. UDP provides error correction. Yes.
So if TCP guarantees delivery, I should get my money back.
Which the following refers to the data left on media after the media has been erased. Semi-hidden, no. Sticky bits, no. Sticky bits is what happens when my kids eat donuts and get my computer. Recovery, no. Remnants, it's remnants. That's what happens as my son gets the iPad. There's sticky bits all over the screen.
Yeah, get your sticky bits off my computer.
Which the following is the most critical item from a disaster recovery point of view? Communication links, software applications, data, hardware, software. I think it might be, yeah, communication. Well,
I think they're talking telecom.
yeah, they're talking telecom. That's your internet connection. So that's not necessarily software applications, hardware, software. I think it's data. Yeah.
Everything else is replaced.
Yeah. RSA algorithm uses which mathematical concept is the basis of this encryption? Pi, geometry, 2 large primes, or 16 round ciphers, 2 large primes. X509 public key certificate with a key usage attribute non-repudiation can be used for which of the following? Signing messages, verifying signed messages, encrypted messages, or encrypting messages. Well, it's not decrypting or encrypting, so it's
Certificate itself would be verification. Right?
yeah, it's the public key.
It's not a certificate, but there's the encryption. The certificate validates the keys that do the encryption.
Yeah, so it would be the verifying the signed message because it would match the private key.
Yes.
I'm going with it anyway.
You don't care.
I'm going rogue. Which of the following can best define the revocation request grace period? All right, period of time allotted within which the user must make a revocation request upon a revocation reason. So it's time between the arrival of a revocation request and the publication of the request and revocation information. So it's not B or, well, minimum response time between the arrival of the request and the publication of the request. It's C, yeah. Which best describes a tool, key fob, calculator, memory card, or smart card used to supply dynamic password. Coupons? No. Token passing network? No, it's not a network. Token or ticket, I would say a token. Radius incorporates which of the following services? Authentication of client and static password generation. I don't think it does static, I don't remember. Authentication server as well as support for static dynamic passwords. Here's a client and dynamic. I think it's, oh gosh. So Radius is the first one, right? And then it was replaced by, yeah, diameter, right? So I think it's the static, and then the next generation did the dynamic passwords.
Yeah, so for Radius, it was Radius diameter
TACX, yeah, that's what I was thinking, is TACX. And
kind of what this is, TACX plus replace TACX and then.
yeah, okay.
What section is this in? I don't remember.
What is LDAP? LDAP is recurring directory databases. So LDAP would be used for LDAP can be built into it. I mean, you can build a thing into LDAP. So this is the telecommunications network domain.
Yeah, LDAP uses Kerberos for its encryption for that, right? Is that,
LDAP doesn't.
well, Microsoft AD, which uses LDAP, uses Kerberos. That's, yeah. Which of the following is used to monitor?
Question 11.
I know. We wanted 50 questions.
Fall asleep.
Which of the following is used to monitor network traffic or to monitor host audit logs in real time to determine violations of system security policy that have taken place? Compliance validation system, compliance monitoring system, intrusion management, or intrusion detection. Well, no, an intrusion detection isn't going to be looking for, well,
Host-based. It doesn't say host or network-based. That's right.
which of the following is monitor host audit logs in real time?
So it'd be network intrusion detection and host-based intrusion detection. So it'd be
Yeah.
two different. That's what I think.
So this one? No, this one. There.
No, yeah.
Which of the following is not a correct notation for IPv6?
Which one was 120?
I can't tell, but the colon, there we go. Whoop. All right. Okay, there are 2 colons in that one. So that one's.
No. Too long.
Oh, it's
Which is not the correct.
Oh, not the correct.
So
Okay.
it's
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
B.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Zero is
7.
some kind of shorthand. You
This is.
can collapse it to zeros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, which one's not correct?
Which one is not correct?
Well, he's got a double colon.
This, but it's got
That's why I got 7.
Well, he's got 2 double colons.
it's got 2 double colons, and it's already 7, right? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would, I think it would be this one.
I can't even see it.
2 double colons is it?
You could have 2, but it would.
No, that's only 7, 7 sets of 4 and 8 sets of.
Oh.
Oh,
Right,
another colon.
Well, wait. 1, 2.
Dealer change.
Oh, wait.
The second. Octet or whatever else.
It's only 4.
Is there another colon I'm missing?
Colon there. Colon. There's a colon here. Colon. Colon.
Anybody here know IPv6?
I know.
I think it's D though.
You should vote. You can say.
Eh?
Everybody has 60 seconds.
Oh, online they're saying you can only use double colons 1 time.
What'd you say?
They're online they're saying it can only use double colons 1 time. They probably Googled it real quick while you're arguing. I'm gonna go with that.
Oh, yeah, Google. They got the Oracle.
What is the most critical piece to disaster recovery and continuity planning? Availability of backup information, processing facilities, management support, security, policy, or staff training. Okay. What are the 3 fundamental principles? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Well, that makes it easy when they put it as a first question to try that. Which of the following statements predicting Kerberos is true? Does not make use of symmetric keys, cannot address confidentiality of information, does not address integrity, does not address availability. Yeah. I know. You know what we should do is you are concerned about physical security. Notice increase in theft and devices that are missing within the environment. Which of the following could help you prevent the theft of unused devices and equipment? Tracking, firewall, lockable storage container, full drive encryption. No, you want to lock them, right? It's not encrypting. It's not going to prevent the theft.
Unused.
Well, it says theft of devices. So we're trying to protect against some theft of data.
Yeah. So tracking devices is it's a detective. You're going to find it after the fact. Firewalls aren't going to keep things from walking out the front door, and encryption is just going to protect the data that's on it. So you would actually lock them up. Which of the following answers are undetectable to security systems or sniffers? ICMP ping suite, passive sniffing, UDP scan, probing systems. It's passive sniffing because you're not actually doing anything on the network. You're just listening. Yep.
You'd have to send in. What is the device where they're expensive? You hook them up to your network and you can notice voltage errors and cables. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I have no idea.
Named after the company. That's the only way I know.
Huh.
Fluke.
Fluke.
It's the only way I think that I know that you can find,
Passive.
systems running in promiscuous mode, which is what your sniffers should be doing. Because they're not responding to any traffic.
Do you see a volt? Do you see voltage or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there'd be resistance on that line.
So they're very hard. That answer is really true. It's very hard to find.
Okay. Which of the following mechanisms was created to overcome the problem of collisions that occur on wired networks when traffic is simultaneously transmitted from different nodes? Well, I mean, it pretty well says it with collision avoidance. It's not pulling or token passing. Collision detection is on wireless. I know.
What's that? Collision avoidance is on wireless.
So it'd be collision detection. What type of attack involves impersonating a user or a system? Spoofing, smurfing, sniffing, or spamming? Spoofing. Which of the following devices enables more than one signal to be sent out simultaneously over a physical circuit? CSU, DSU, router, WAN, or multiplex? Flex. Do you guys really want me to read these all out loud?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd say, no, it's fine. Which of the following common data network services is used to share data files and subdirectories on file servers? Client server services, file services, mail services, or print services? Yeah. Client server would be your application and server. Mail services, email and print. I mean, yeah. Which of the following protocols does not operate at layer 3? D. B, D.
No.
Q.
Is part of TCP.
Yeah. All right. Cryptography does not help detecting fraudulent deletion, detecting fraudulent insertion, fraudulent disclosure, or modification. It would be deletion. Right? Yeah, because if you do any of the other, yeah, would modify it. Yeah.
So encryption only does integrity and disclosure confidentiality. Well, because if I've got something encrypted, you buy a key, you don't be able to access it.
Oh, so
So we've got about 75, 80 questions in, and how everybody's feeling a little punchy. You're like a third of the way through the test.
Am I punchy?
I know I am.
Yes, punchy is punchy.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. We've got about a third of the way through a full test so far.
Potty breaks during the test?
You could, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So if we finish this up real quick, maybe we can talk about that real quick. You'd be surprised.
They used
So-
I don't know what they do now, but they used to ask for it.
Yep.
60 people in here.
So
So you'd have to wait, you could have snacks, but you had to leave the snacks in the back of the room.
we didn't get snacks. So I did it at the computer testing. I thought we could have snacks. I had to empty my pockets, put it into a locker. I got to carry the key with me. I had to give my handprint, not a fingerprint, a handprint to go in. One person could leave the testing center at a time. When you left, you had to do a handprint that you were leaving. You could go do whatever.
Where'd you take this?
Pearson.
That's the way they do it.
Yeah, you could go I went through it the first pass, and they have a clock so you can see what time where you're at. So it was about an hour in.
Better than electronics.
Yeah,
You have to pick up your lunch.
retina.
You
Yeah,
pick up lunch.
yeah. You can't have anything. Not like wedding ring. They check your glasses to make sure.
I think you can have a pencil.
Nope, they provide it.
Google
They provide
Glass.
it, right.
About an hour in, I took a break, got some water, went to the bathroom, got another glass of water,
Does
just
the
to.
time pause?
No. Once you start, you're on the clock.
But 4 hours is
Yeah, it took me about just under 2 hours.
more.
Like if you're prepared and you've studied it, you'll once you start studying this, you'll scream through.
I think the only way you would like run out of time is if you just really second guess yourself. Trying to fill out the whole task.
Yeah.
They say that statistically, your first answer is the right answer.
Yep. I
Be
did
careful about changing.
about 200 questions on the first pass where I was just like, yes, this is it. And then I only flagged the ones that I didn't immediately know. I did a second pass. I got it down to about 10 questions. Went back and actually read those 10 questions. I had it down to 3 or 4 questions where I was just like, I have no idea what that even is, right? So I just made a guess at that point. I figured 3 or 4 questions wasn't gonna sink me.
I think you're people think of it. So I wouldn't.
Well, it helped. I'll be honest. Having a support group, like, and people you can talk to would make a huge difference. Because I didn't have that. Like, I had 2 other CISSPs in the city in Lexington when I took it, and so yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of people to bounce things off of or know. So I probably OCD'd it a little bit and was well over prepared.
I don't think
I don't know. I would have preferred not to have spent quite that much time. All right. How can an individual best be identified or authenticated to prevent local masquerading attacks? Smart card and PIN code. That's 2 physical things. Well, I'm sorry. Physical, something you have, something you know. Biometrics, user ID and a password, or 2-factor authentication. Best be identified or authenticated to prevent local masquerading. I'm gonna go with 2-factor. Anytime. Because you can, yeah, and you can, that can be spoofed.
Yeah, I'm struggling too.
But I think with
Best
it,
answer, because you might not have.
Yeah.
It could be something.
it could be anything, yeah. So smart card and PIN is part of 2 factors. So therefore I would say you go with the overall. Yeah, I would say 2-factor. Which of the following is more suitable for a hardware implementation? Stream cipher, cipher block chaining, block ciphers, or electronic code book? Stream ciphers? Okay. See, that's again where encryption, I just haven't done anything with it. So I'm like, oh. When referring to computer crime investigation, which of the following would be the most important step required to preserve and maintain proper chain of custody? Verifiable documentation, including who, what, when, where, and how the evidence was handled, should be available. All right. Log files containing information regarding intrusion are retained for at least as long as normal business records and longer in the case of an ongoing. That's important. Evidence has been collected in accordance with all laws and regulations. Law enforcement should be contacted for advice on how and when. I would say that's not it.
Yeah, I'm hungry for an apple.
Yeah. And then those are all could be correct, but it's the most important.
Antelope.
Which of the following statements pertaining to software testing approaches is correct? Test plan should be retained as part of permanent documentation. Top-down approach allows errors in critical modules to be detected earlier. Black box testing is predicted on a closed examination of procedural detail. Bottom up allows interface errors to be detected earlier. These 2 are backwards, right? Because top-down would be the user interface first. This would be the critical. Yeah, because black box you wouldn't know any of that stuff. Which integrity model defines a constrained data item, an integrity verification procedure, and a transformation procedure? Good. Okay.
It's not biblical because BIBA doesn't have transformation procedures.
Isn't the ability of
What's that?
Is it integrity obviously no?
It is. It is. BIBA is an integrity model, but it's not the integrity model with the CDI and the FAD. Do you remember that one? This was that day when I was just like so freaking dry. Just I hate this.
Yeah.
Class. That particular class. Remember what Clark Wilson is?
It's the Chinese wall.
It's also not it. It's the big grant.
It's what, Kid Grant. And I say in all my years in IT and this, I've never seen any of these actually used anywhere. Attack initiated by an employee that is authorized to access system resources but uses them in a way not approved is known as a outside attack? No. Active attack? No. Inside attack? Holy God. I am not reading this. Okay. So wait, I will say, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, no, this is database, and there was one very, very similar to this in the test itself. Because all right. So what you want to do is be able to tell that Apple can't be sure whether FIDCO is shipping something at the same time, so it's a database integrity. It's going to be polyinstantiation, right? Because you have multiple of the same, but you want to be able to not keep them separated.
Yeah, it's not the object.
And this is security. When the insertion attempt exceeded, unsure. So strong start is no. Gosh. The insertion.
That's security, and that's what they
What is the access control number about to that? Oh crap. Okay.
Yeah, so they're well, right, and but it says that they're using the same shipping company, so this information is in the same database. So if they try and ship it at the same time, they want to know what their competitors are shipping on what ships. Can't. Okay, so they can't read it because of the access model. It attempts to insert a false unclassified record that says it's shipping. If there was already one there, it would have failed. I think it's going to be strong because you can't write. Yeah, who knows?
It's a pretty good chance. Isn't it?
Well, that's a lot of the questions you do knock out two. You knock out two away, and then it's a crap, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Star or simple.
And I would say on the ones that I didn't know right away, as you're going through them, you'll see others that trigger your thoughts. Where you're like, oh, which one was that? And then by the time you get back around to it, you've forgotten again. Why would an attacker on your local subnet intercept calls to your time server and feed incorrect time date info? When incorrect time exists, the TCP header information would be off. System clocks are wrong. People may not get paid. The attacker doesn't care about that. Time says wrong. You might miss an important meeting. They don't care about that. To make it difficult to investigate network incidents. So, yeah, that could be true too. But I would agree. They're trying to hide when they were there. The following best describes the situation when an attacker assumes the connection identity of the victim in order to steal data. Session hunting, TCP session hijacking, or session stealing. Yeah. I used to know what all the definitions were, and then I took the test and forgot them all. tasked with developing a business continuity plan, disaster recovery plan. For several months of researching the various areas, you're ready to present the plan to senior management. During the presentation meeting, the plan that you have dutifully created is not received positively. Senior management is not convinced that they need to enact your plan, nor are they prepared to invest the money. What is the best reason as to why senior management is not willing to enact your plan? They were not included in any of the risk assessment meetings. That could be. Business impact assessment was not performed. That's true. That could also be. They were not included on any business impact assessment meetings. Okay, yeah. Business case was not initially made and thus did not secure their support. It's D. Always, that's management support is always critical on the DRBCP. Which of the following answers best describes a type of penetration testing where the analyst has full knowledge of the network? Pink box.
We should do that on the next one that we scope out.
Just put pink boxes.
Yeah, we're gonna do pink box testing on this one. I'll be like, say what? Yeah, pink box testing.
It's our own custom methodology.
2007.
It's proprietary. Get Stephanie and Rich to show up in pink shirts.
Right. I can go tell Ryan, dude, we guys do sell a lot of pink box testing. It's just way and then walk away.
He'd be so confused. That'd be fantastic.
You'd be asking other people that.
You got to let everyone else know ahead of time and see how long it takes him to ask all the analysts. Be like, yeah, I agree. And then just walk away. I would totally do that. All right, match the following protocols with the port number in order from left to right. Oh, yes. All right, so memorization. Sage, Kerberos, okay. So I know LDAP is 389, HTTPS is 443, and secure LDAP is 6. Yeah, C. So yeah, just know these ports, right? SSH is 22. Oh, that's all the same. Kerberos is 88. It's the same. Yeah, BIOS is 137. Oh, well, that one's out. LDAP is 389, so that one's out. HTTPS is 443, so it's got to be that one.
Did you guys all agree?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice there was a difference between all 4 lines until.
yeah, yeah. This is it starts to blur together. All right, of the following answers, which is the best way to secure data from physical attacks? Locking computer cases, hide the computer, bind some boxes. Nice. BIOS passwords or full disk encryption. Well, but you're looking from a physical attack, so I think you would lock the computer.
But now we're securing data, not the device. Because even with a locked computer case, I can still get feed.
Yeah.
Right? But I won't be able to do
Feed encryption, yeah, true.
The only difference between this question and what we had before was the one we had before was
Systems.
devices.
Yep.
Now we're talking about data. You guys agree?
Yes, yeah.
Personally, I like to just hide it behind some boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Was it security through obscurity?
This, we say,
How many bits are in the TTL field of an IP header? Holy, I have no idea. Let's see, 8 for a max hop count of TTL. Well, it's not hop count because we're looking at time to live, right? Yeah, well, no, because it would be how many
Bits.
well, even if you don't remember the on this one, even if you don't remember how many bytes or bits were in the header, you can do the math. So 2 to the 8 is not 512, it's 256. And then you would subtract 1. So you know that that one's not right. Because if it was 8 bits, it would be a total of 255, 512 combinations. A B could potentially be it, right? Because 2 to the 8, and then you always minus 1 for the network. I mean, it's the same thing. And then I did it up on the board. So that one is conceivable as 2 to the 16th. I don't know what that is, but there's really no such thing as a hop count of 65,000. that means that the TTL gets decremented every time it crosses the router, right? It decrements the TTL by 1. And so if I had a hop count or a TTL
Max
of
hop
6,
count is like 30 or 60 or something like that.
right? But that would be that means that packet would have to cross 65,000 routers before it would be taken off the line.
Well, and then-
Congestion.
And then that one kind of contradicts. Why would 16 have so many more hops than a 32-bit?
Right.
So you can cross those two off.
Exactly. So the answer is B. Even if you don't remember how many bytes were in the header, you can deduce it and use everything. So you guys know what a TTL is used for, right? You remember what TTL is used for? I know that that's how long that packet would live on the network before the router would pull it off and say, and then send an ICMP message back, TTL exceeded. So we won't have packets also
Living there forever. All right. Which access control method allows the data owner, the person who created the file, to control access of the information they own? Mandatory access control? No. Discretionary access control? Role-based access control? Or non-discretionary? Well, it's not role-based, because that's going to be based on their role. It's not mandatory. B? B? All right.
B.
Boy.
Yeah, boy.
What is the name of an algorithm that generates supposedly random numbers which are not truly random because the numbers are determined by a relatively small set of initial values in the algorithm? A pseudo-random number generator? That sounds pretty accurate from what they just described. Periodic number table? No. Deterministic generator? No. I don't even know what a Mersenne twister is. I'm going to order one of those at the bar.
I think it's like class F5.
Nice.
Is that Valley Fair?
Then the Fujitsu scale.
It's at Valley Fair. All right, pseudo-random. From the choices presented below, which one is not an example of protected communication controls that are part of technical preventative controls? Wow. Not an example of protected communication. Well, okay, part of technical preventative. Well, it wouldn't, could be, yeah, so discretionary access, because that's not going to be a communication control. You could use,
Not really technical, is it? I mean, it's more than an administrative control.
yeah, yeah. All right, I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, why not? It's getting late. Which concept below is best described as an effective organization-wide program that includes the following: configuration management, control, process, security impact analysis, assessment of selected security status, report, active involvement of asset owners, operational controls, technical controls, continuous monitoring, or physical controls. I would say that would be operational controls.
So, another Apple.
It won't click, there it goes.
A lot of Apple. It's not forever.
Who is primarily responsible for storing and safeguarding the data? The security administrator, the data steward, the data user, the data owner.
Let's take whoever is on the other side of this.
That took me a second. I was just pointing fingers at people. It would be the steward, right? No, it's not the user that's responsible for storing and safeguarding. It's not the owner responsible.
We used to before, well.
Did we use steward in the book? I don't remember using that.
I used to study it, and I don't remember what they said in the book.
Yeah, I
I've always reported it. So, did anybody read this part of the book?
I want to say that I'd steward and custodian were synonymous in this.
So the security administrator might not be the
They're not going to be.
steward. They may be responsible for the system security and other components, but not necessarily securing the data. I don't know.
How often is it the same person? That's what's really in the real world. Those are typically the same, but I think it's the data steward. Which of the following statement correctly describes the difference between QAT and UAT? Anybody remember what those are? It's acceptance testing. There you go. These are acceptance testing and quality access QAT both focus on technical aspect of the application. Well, that's the same thing, so that one's out. QAT focuses on the technical aspect and UAT focuses on functional aspect. That sounds correct. UAT and QAT both focus on functional aspect. Well, there's no difference in that one. So A and B, C are out already. UAT focuses on technical and QAT on functional. I think it's that one.
Yes, concur?
Which of the following device in frame relay WAN technique is a service provider device that does the actual data transmission and switching in the frame relay cloud? She was way too confident. I'm not arguing. Which is the main characteristic of a Bastion host? It's a hard-end computer implementation. It's a firewall. It's located on the internal network. It does packet filtering. It is, yeah. I was gonna say, you must have covered that on the day I wasn't here.
Oh, is it?
I don't remember hearing that
I have a
one.
long word, I'll be back.
All right. Oh, good Lord. All right, I'm gonna come around and actually read this whole long thing here. Vendor claims their product performs its encryption on bit-by-bit method called, oh, okay. It's stream-based, right? Because it's encrypting it on, yeah, on bit by bit on the fly. Block is going to take a chunk of data, encrypt, chunk of data, encrypt. I have no idea. I don't think that is a quick toss. So stream-based, I think it's stream-based.
Use a slower stream.
All right. Wow.
That's a stunning stream.
Big ones from left.
Did you start to execute? So what I do on these long ones is I will skip down to like the end and say, okay, this phase is associated with analysis, interpretation, reaction, recovery from the incident. Oh, well, I don't really care that the hacker boys pawn your website because that really doesn't, that's not associated with the actual question, right? So what is associated with analysis, interpretation, and reaction and recovery from the incident? Yeah, it's not, recovery would be, analysis.
It says animation.
What?
You're doing the analysis and interpretation.
This phase, the recovery phase. It's like everything.
Analysis. Yeah, investigation would be, we're actually seeing what happened. Yeah, it would be, I think it would be recovery, right? Because interpretation, research phase, no, I think it would be recovery because you're going to be analyzing and interpreting the results of your investigation and then actually implementing them. All right. Thanks.
Oh, you can do it.
Oh, so this is another good, it's the exact same huge wall of text and a different question. So they will do that where you see that. This phase tries to understand the source of the attack and point of entry into the network. So that would be triage, investigative, analysis, and tracking vector. Yeah, I think investigative. No, I think your triage phase, you're just trying to figure out what the heck happened. Investigative, you're trying to figure out who did it and how they got in. So I'd go with that. We're so close. As your company grows and gains more market share, data becomes more valuable. You decide you must be more tightly controlled. IT manager for a successful growing company. You're responsible for security. Wow, that's bad grammar. For securing corporate data. So you are developing policies to control the data at all locations it resides. Electronic devices used to sanitize data from the used or retired disk drives are called. No, degausser is magnetic.
Electronic device.
But
It's not, it's just a magnet.
Is that all of it?
You know, there's electrons in it.
I've seen them where they're just, it's just a big,
It's a
strong
magnet.
magnet on a handle. You just put on top of the drive and it fries it. There are some that plug in too. So it's, I would say degosser could be
I thought it didn't use.
electronic devices. So a disk eraser isn't, disk debitter. I don't even know what a disk debitter is. Disk bit torrent wiper. You know, I think based on what the other options are, I think it would have to be degosser. Right? A disk eraser, I interpret that to be like software that, you know, DBAN or something like that. I don't even know what a disk debitter is. And a disk bit torrent wiper sounds made up. So let's go with degosser. All right, last one. You were planning on attending DEF CON in Las Vegas. Vagaries. All right. This method requires a station possess a digital series of bits called a frame, indicating that it's permission to talk on the network. Yeah. So collusion avoidance for carrier sensing. It's not certificate possession. It's not, well, digital bits called a frame.
Isn't that deep?
Because it could be token passing, right? From the old token ring.
If you have a
Yeah.
token,
I guess token passing. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Thank goodness. All right, let's see. 40 out of 50, 80. That's
80%.
that's passing.
That's 80%.
So real quick, we got started late because I came here and got here and went, oh, I don't have my key, my badge. Had to run home and get it.
No way, man.
I mean, I'm 10 minutes away. So we got a little late start. So if you guys are okay, if we're going just a few minutes late, I'll just try to talk about how I went through my test and what I did. So yeah, I used that sunflower testing guide. I used that to read it. I did a ton of questions on here. I think there's something like, there's like 1,500 for the 2015 CISSP and like almost 2,000 for the older CISSP. The data in the older ones is absolutely correct. I used the majority of mine on, I did testing on the older ones because it hadn't come to the new one hadn't passed. So it was like in March or April of 15 that they switched, and I took it in September. So I did the majority of my testing on the old questions, so they're still valid. Yeah, it's the same content. It's just where they're organized into the domains. So I did a ton of these. I can't stress enough to go through and do a full 250 question test at least once, but multiple times. Sit down, block time on a weekend or an evening, and do it. Because I mean, we just did 107 questions in 2 hours. You still have another 150 questions that you would have to go through, right? So it is a lot. It's a little bit of a mental marathon to get through it because you get going through it and you can't read right. And you're like, which was that at? So do the 250 multiple times. I probably did. I want to say I did about 3,500 test questions total. So I would just go through it and do 250, or I would do 50 if I had time to do 50 or whatever it was. I'd just try and do some questions every single day. And then once I got through all the questions and I'd answered everything they had once, I just said, show me only the ones I got wrong. So I figure if I got it right, I don't need to keep going over that. Let me focus on what I did wrong. So I just continuously narrowed it down. So yeah, I repeated questions, and there's some that I know I never got. Every time I'd be like, I knew that one, and I still talked myself out of it. In the test exam, when you get there, check in, they take everything off, like take all your wallet, your keys. I know. As I was saying that, I was, no. Wallet, watch, no pens, no nothing. They'll have like a whiteboard.
Sticky notes on the side.
Yeah. The timer starts when they set you down. You get to read the like little acknowledgement and you hit go, and that's when your timer starts, and it's 4 hours from that time. But if you've done this, you'll know exactly how long it's going to take you to get through these questions. I knew by the time I went to go take it, I was doing this in about 90 minutes to go through 250 and score well enough to pass. So I knew I had plenty of time. So yeah, about an hour into it, I just said, all right, I'm gonna go take a break, refresh, kind of get, let my eyes uncross a little bit from reading these scenarios.
Get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, eat a good breakfast. Like I said, I brought water and a snack, and they're like, nope, everything goes in the thing. You can, when you're done with the test, you can then undo your locker. If you undo your locker, you're done with your test. Oh, okay, awesome. So they had water there though, water cups. Yeah, I study, lots of practice tests. So much of it is just memorization.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is the last night, right? You guys
Yep.
made it. So that's a hell of a commitment.
How many people are online?
So much.
30. Well, it was closer. It was 35. It's 35, 33 right now. It was up at 40, but it's been right around 35 or so the last couple of weeks.
If you guys want to have a study group or something, you can email me or Brad, and we'll put people together. If you want to study, anybody have their test already scheduled? Anybody got a date that they're shooting for?
End of June.
End of June. Okay. So we'll go to the shooting. That always helped me too. I work better with the deadline. If I set a date, like this is when I'm going to do it. Because there are a lot of times when people will go through this, and then you find out the next year. So set a date for yourself. Just standard testing stuff. Get a good night's sleep. Nothing sucks more than like being hungry in the middle of the test. I like to eat a lot. So
This is the actual site that you can go to. They're asking online. Yeah, 16.
It's been fun. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I've established some relationships here too.
There it is. There's a pricing.
Because hopefully we'll all be peers. Alongside each other to secure stuff. Competitors, man, there's plenty of room.
Thank you both.
Yeah, really appreciate you.
It's our pleasure. I think we're thinking about doing it maybe twice a year now. There's so much. It's hard to wait again until spring if you miss this class and whatever. So we might do another one in the fall. Kudos to Brad, because like I said, there's no pay for this.
Yeah.
Brad comes in on his weekends, gives up weeknights, and gives up time for his family, and that's very much appreciated. And now you know what it's like standing at the front of a bunch of smart people. You've done that before, but standing here in front of a bunch of smart people.
Answering questions in front of Evan is a little intimidating.
Stay home.
You all got to see the glory of my mangy beard come in.
So yeah, good luck.
Yep.
And let us know if you want endorsements.
Yeah.
Email us after you've completed your test. Let us know when you're taking it. I mean, keep in contact with us. We really do care about you guys. We care about you guys passing the test. That's all I have. Go Caps tomorrow, Game 7. Big Caps fan.
What are cats?
Washington Capitals.
The hockey.
Ah.
Game
Is
7.
it like the final?
It's about 2 months. Yeah, right? It takes forever.
Yeah, it started April 8th, I think.
Rangers are playing tonight. I wonder who's that game.
Thanks again.
Yes, have a great day.
And they're asking, I'm telling them online just to spam Rob if they need to get a hold of us.
Yeah, whatever we can do to help you guys pass the test.
And I didn't see session 12 wasn't on.
No, it's because Rob hasn't received the slides yet.
Senators are ahead 3-2, 33 seconds.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to face Lundqvist ever again in the playoffs.
The Rangers are shooting 38 to 25. Our goalies win playoff games, man.
All right. Thanks everyone online.
So what's up there right now is the test.
This is where I signed up. This is the new. You can see the difference, right, in the layout. This is the older version. I think he's getting away from that freepracticetest.org because it was originally free. Now it's cost money, and people are like, but it says free practice test. But
Oh, so it's not free.
no, I mean it's
This is
cheap,
that same
right?
CISSP.
You get access to both.
It's
Oh,
the same data. It's just the way it looks is different.
You get, I think you get the,
And then-
in the book.
Yeah, there's. I think
You also get their free Singress or whatever.
Yeah, there's a link for going.
right. Is it skill set?
That's a good one.
Yeah, here you go. Skillset.com is another good one. I think you get the free one, and you can do questions on it. I'll say what I would do again. I would go with like the skill set or the Go Certified when it's free. The questions aren't as good, but it's going to give you a good idea. So when you get to the point where you're like crushing the free ones, that's when I would pay to do the really hard pro questions, level questions. But yeah, this is a free. You just have to sign up for it as well.
You guys use brain damage at all?
Mhm.
I think, given what you've been through here, the sunflower.
Yeah.
If you memorize that in a big practice test, I would.
You'd be fine.
Personally, I wouldn't do any more because you're just going to kind of over
Yep.
burn yourself. So, have confidence that you can go and take the test and pass it. You know what you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. All right.
You put people's phones home addresses. Really, out of university, which is their directory, everybody's phone addresses.
All right. Thanks. Good luck. Hey, thank you. I was going to email you. I don't know where you're at with your VCP DR stuff, but if you want, I'll send you a copy of our templates.